Hey, True Believers, England Teen here. Friday night, we just decided, you know what, let's have an open mic night and an open topic. So whatever the hell you want to talk about, that's what we're going to talk about. That also is like code for me saying, I really don't have anything to talk about. I looked around. Everything is like, oh, what's the story here? There isn't one. You see the headline. It says, Ant-Man is going to feature freaking what's his name, Kang. And okay, let's look at the story, and it says Ant-Man's going to feature Kang, and that's everything that's going around right now. There's even a whole thing about people getting mad because they are coming up with a new version of her, the Adam Warlock female counterpart, and people are mad because she's and look, I get it, it's the time that it's in. People are mad because she's stronger, faster, and everything like that. And it's kind of ridiculous that they would do this in this day and age, but they do it on purpose. They do it to get people talking. Hey, Ash, what's up?
Hola, ¿qué pasó?
¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasa?
¿Qué pasó?
Okay, what is ¿qué pasó?
Same thing, just masculine.
Oh, okay. I did not know that. I didn't know there was a masculine and feminine version of that. I honestly. Puchai Puchai, I think is male, and then what is the female? I think, but anyway, in Thai they have the same kind of thing. So, yeah, I figure what the hell. I don't have a lot to. In all honesty, I was looking for like what the hell is going on that's decent in comic books anymore. I don't know. I've been doing back issues. I've decided to do a little something different with my Old Man Comics channel. I call it From the Long Box now, and I'm dealing mostly with back issues. And I figure just for a little bit at least, while I'm still on this particular train, I'm going to do villains. And I'll just pick a character every week. This week it's Iron Man. That's going to carry until the 1st of February. And then for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be doing romance stories. Why the freaking hell not? It's February. Let's talk about some of those weddings that actually happened. I don't want to talk about Batman 50. We freaking beat that horse into the ground. What's up? How are you guys doing? We got Jay in the house, Cartoons and Comics. What's up? And Rhaegar, whoa, this is a family show. It is. Okay. It's not that they're female counters to male heroes. They've been doing that for decades, even outside of comics. Yeah, I was wondering. Now, the thing is, I think that what's getting people's panties in a bunch is that she's more powerful, blah, blah. They did this with Supergirl. And there was a line, I forget, I think it was in Batman versus Superman, where, you know, people are, oh, she's more powerful than Superman. Superman said, I've been living here my entire life. Nobody knows how powerful I am. So curb that shit.
Batman, Superman volume. It was Superman, Batman, not Batman, Superman.
Okay, Superman, Batman.
Is the second storyline. I think it was issue 12, maybe. Okay,
you keep doing this, you're going to have to go back, all right? You can't. He keeps trying to eat the freaking wires off of I'm kind of agitated, too, today. You ever just have that kind of day? I've been finding myself having more of those kind of days since I'm getting older and older. But yeah, it's just like I'm just agitated.
Get off my lawn syndrome.
Yeah, it's very much like that. So it's like, you know, just I'm ready for a fight. Of course, not a physical one because at 53 and all the damage I've done to my body, I'm just going to get my ass whipped. Okay, do I need to put you away? You're going to behave. Come on. There you go. Nope. Behaving isn't trying to bite me. Okay. All right, female characters opposed to feminist characters. Shoot the bird. I am very close in a disguise. I am very freaking close right now. That is serious. Higher sales numbers equals more powerful. Well, in this case, we don't know. It's going to be what is it? I got an article I brought up here. I guess I can try to open it up, check out what they've seen. But it's, I don't know. I was looking around. What's there to talk about in comics anymore?
I sent you the bare minimum on Twitter DMs.
On Twitter DMs. Okay, what do you have for me on Twitter DMs? Oh, Dan Slott's got shit to talk about. Okay.
It's the bare minimum I could find.
Yeah, I was telling Black Cat before we got on. It's all what you call it. It's headline news. Literally, you read the headline, you get the news. Okay, so what's Dan Slott spouting off these days? You and many others are misinterpreting what I'm saying here. What's the tweet before this one? Since the decision was made by editorial to have the marriage undone, there is no story that any writer could tell with a married Spider-Man in core continuity that would see print. So basically, he's saying flat out that because the higher-ups want Spider-Man to be single, no writer will ever bring together what God had put asunder.
Yeah.
He brings up a good point, actually. Far be it from me to normally side with Dan Slott, but
normally
this
you
is
wouldn't.
Something I think a lot of customers or comic readers need to just bear in mind that you might go and read a storyline. For example, you mentioned the infamous Batman non-wedding,
right?
That was like a DC thing, right? Like you might be mad. It's easy to be mad at Tom King, and believe me, I am for a great many things. Breaking up Spider-Man one more day, it's easy, but these writers, their hands are tied. They have to stick with the continuity that Marvel insists on having. And so when they do something with these characters, you're like, like I thought when they rebooted Amazing Spider-Man, Nick Spencer was going to bring back and it's like, he can't. He's doing
he brought
everything
them together. He brought them together. It looked like they were going to date and get back together, but apparently we can't do that.
And I'm not saying don't be mad. I'm not saying just swallow the big horse pill and take it. I'm not saying that.
Aim the anger at the right people.
Right.
Go to Samana Amanat or whatever her name is, and Tom Brevoort, the people who actually run it, not necessarily Dan Slott and Tom King, because they don't have the power to change things.
No, Tom King, you can blame him because he had half the mind to do the bait and switch.
Yeah.
He actually wanted to do the bait and switch and do the actual wedding at issue 100 instead of 50.
Yeah, that makes sense, because then he did that Batman Catwoman miniseries, which I liked halfway. I knew it even. I was telling people as I was talking about the books, this is Batman Catwoman's good book. I'm waiting for it to turn bad. Batman Catwoman's good book, waiting for it to turn bad. Issue 6, boom, downhill. Now I'm reading this by Tom King in all honesty, because I am what's called a glutton for punishment. Eric recommended it. It's called Danger Street.
Glutton? I would never tell.
Right. Okay. Fat joke. So Eric recommended this, so I picked it up, and it is in fact good. It's about the DC first issue special characters, and the Green Team, I believe Creeper's in there, Lady Cop, all these characters that showed up in this 70s series, and so far, it's really good. But both Eric and I have said, well, we're going to enjoy this until it turns bad. And we're both expecting it to turn bad.
Tom King is good for at least 4 issues.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Same thing happened with the Supergirl True Grit story. It just happens. It happens like that. It just... Dan Slott does not make mistakes. Dan Slott is a protected minority, as he is the product of a dwarf and an orc mating. I would say orca. He always... I saw him walk into a room. I was watching a video. It was about a comic book convention. And he walked into the room, and all I thought was, man, you look like Violet Beauregard after she chews the freaking Thanksgiving gum. It's like, holy crap! If he was purple, he would have had the cosplay. Let's see. If you want them broken up, you could have written the falling out love story, but instead it wasn't very good. It wasn't done very well, but I don't know. Once again, I agree with Ash. Don't really go after them. Go after the people who are in control of them. But nowadays, I think you're just going to be throwing fuel on the fire. Nowadays, we'll have somebody on Twitter and they'll say, you got to give the customers what they want. And then this other creator comes up and says, that's exactly the opposite of what you need to do. Look, I get the mindset there. It's like they're saying it wrong and then they believe the wrong way they're saying it. it's good to subvert expectations. I know those are evil words these days, but it's good to subvert expectations. But the way you do that is you give the customers what they want in a way they didn't expect it.
Exactly. There's two ways you can interpret that. Like, give the customers what they want. The one is where it's just like you're like Subway. You just I don't make any. You just instruct me what to put on this bread. You're essentially making the sandwich. I'm just robot arms, following these instructions. And the problem is people that don't understand how food goes together may not be getting the best possible sandwich. Now, the other way is like what you're saying, give them what they want. It really means, it should mean, give them what they didn't know they wanted until you gave it to them.
Yeah.
Right? Like I didn't know that I was going to be a Hawkman fan. I had no desire. I thought Hawkman was the dumbest character. I was like, whatever, this is stupid. And everyone's like, no, you got to read this Hawkman. You got to read this Hawkman. And I was like, roll my eyes. Okay, I'll read this character. And now he's like one of my favorite characters at DC. I didn't know.
Yeah, that Venditti run, right?
Yeah, Robert Venditti gave me what I wanted. I just didn't know that I wanted it at the time. He convinced me. And that's what everyone should be striving to do.
I think one of the ways he did it was to take the biggest problem about Hawkman was the fact that he's this character, that character. Is he Kadar Hall? Is he, which version of the Hawkman are we dealing with? And he just kind of went, all of them. They're the same person. And he made a story where now, I mean, he just explained Hawkman in a very entertaining and exciting way. And now let's move forward with Hawkman. We've got it. We got the way we should get. Yeah. Rhaegar, subverting expectations isn't evil, doing it to disrespect the characters and thereby insulting you. Exactly. I could see that. Yeah. Spider-Man in the 616 all of a sudden having organic shooters even would be wrong to do. But that's just my pull on it. But yeah, like I said, today is an open mic day. If you want to jump on and say something about something, if you've got a topic for us to talk about, give our 2 cents. Let us know about that. The bird is going a little bit wild. Hopefully he'll be chill, but he's been out. I literally just opened his cage because the mother-in-law went to bed. So I opened his cage to let him fly around the house. So he's been out for the last hour and a half.
So he can sleep up. He can take a number 2 on his sleeping.
Oh, his favorite is, by the way, I am constantly cleaning up the back of my TV. That is his favorite. It's like, God damn it. It really should be Gail's job, right? It's not my pet, it's her pet. Let's see. Yeah, but if you're subverting the narrative all the time, actually not subverting, says In a Disguise. And Maranya saying, a good writer can give us a good story. A great writer could make us care about characters that we normally don't like or care about. That's happened quite a bit.
Amen to that, Maranya.
2 characters I'll point out. I read the original Prez, and it was okay, but then I believe it was Neil Gaiman and the Sandman wrote a story, and all of a sudden Prez is cool. And then there was another one with Brother Power the Geek. I read a story with Brother Power the Geek in it. It was a Vertigo book. Couldn't tell you much about it right now, but I just had to find out everything I could about this character called Brother Power the Geek, only to find out that he was in only 2 books before. This is it. This is the entire series. And yeah, I'm very happy to own these. This is a really cool character. Just because somebody said, you know what? There are really, and I've said this before many times, I'll say it until I die. There are no bad characters. There's just bad writers. You can take anything. And I'm glad to see Tom King giving a shot to the first issue special characters, because these are characters that really nobody's giving a crap about. Even the Creeper isn't getting a lot of love. The Elemental Man, Metamorpho, he doesn't get a lot of love. So if you want to do something, if you want to make a good story with him, bring it on. Hopefully it is good all 12 issues. That's what I'm hoping for. So hey, RDV is in the house, but are you on now?
I've been on.
Yeah, but you had your mic.
Because you guys wouldn't stop talking, so I figured you were going to introduce me sometime.
Okay, well, hey, ladies and gentlemen, RDV, the real Dr. Venkman, except no substitutes.
I've also been recording this whole entire stream myself, so.
Oh, that's cool.
So
I'm sorry, RDV. I didn't know that was you. I asked in chat who it was, but no.
I know.
Oh shoot! Sorry, guys. Sorry. I don't.
I think 3 people asked.
I don't have your brand on. Here we go.
No. For anybody who's here, just let you know, Angleton is recording us.
Or England, but yes.
Not England? What?
The Englandine.
Oh.
You and Tristan.
Well, I could just call you Aaron. Right. Would it be better to just call you Aaron the whole entire time?
If you want. It sounds weird to me to hear my name come through YouTube, because I started when you're supposed to have anonymity. Yeah. Hey, some of us have word weaknesses. That's one of mine.
Anonymity.
Anonymity? Say it again?
Yeah.
Exactly. I know.
Anna's minity?
It's just one of those things. I can't say I can't say that word, and I can't spell tomorrow.
Just say nomity.
Nomity.
And then put the name Anna in front of it. Nomity.
Nomity.
Just say monomity.
It doesn't sound right.
Now
to me.
you have learned how to say it.
I'm gonna fuck it up every. I've been screwing that
You'll
word
probably
up.
Forget, but you learned.
I know. I'm going to be. I've screwed that word up for 50 freaking 3 years. I've never been able to. For some reason, that's the word weakness. Jeff Johns proved that. Look at the top, arguably the dumbest character ever created. Johns made him look at the turtle. That's a character right there, Jay. Talk about. I don't know if it was him or Josh Williams, but they made him have this slow field that he could expand. It was that was really
Josh Williams.
Josh Williams, yeah. Holy crap! They made the turtle freaking badass. Like, I did not expect that. Once again, doesn't matter the character; it matters the writer. One character I've been fascinated with, like after I read the first 6 issues, was Kamala Khan. I read those first 6 issues. I'm thinking this is a great freaking book. And then he fucked her up. They brought her into more of the Marvel universe, and they made it a typical superhero story, and it went against everything that was good about the first 6 issues, which I think is the family stuff. But there you go. Anonymity. Is that how you say anonymity? Okay. There you go. That actually makes sense.
It's supposed to be nimity, not minity.
See, there you go. Okay, it's not just me. I don't know. So me and my wife, we went to see a movie last night. We went to see The Whale. Black Cat? No, nothing. No, you what is that? You just went to look in a mirror?
It's low-hanging fruit.
I mean, if you won't do it, fine. Gail sees Angleton or Aaron, whatever, every single night, so she sees The Whale.
There you go. Okay, but yeah, we went to see the Whale, and holy crap, that did me. It's kind of funny because basically this movie breaks down to it's a guy trying to recreate or reconnect to his daughter after leaving the family. So that actually happened with me when me and Gail separated. I even mentioned, look, put it on me. Don't put it on you. You're living with a family. Put it on me. That's fine. So they saw me as the villain of the separation, and I had to climb back into their good graces. So I'm watching this unfold in this brilliant freaking performance. There is no, people are like saying, there's a little bit of doubt now in Brendan Fraser winning that Oscar if he doesn't win it. I've seen all of the best acting, and they're all good, but Brendan Fraser freaking brought that shit home. And that story being so close, I'm sitting there. And the funny thing is, I kid you not, I was worried because Gail would see me tearing up, and she would, oh, is it so bad? She would do that bit, just ruining the mood and what I'm going through with this movie. I kid you not. On the side, Gail's sitting over here. I've got this one tear going down. This eye is all bulged out and it's just like waterworks. I don't know how I managed to do that, but I'll tell you right here, The Whale, holy shit, that's a good movie.
Yeah, it looks really like not depressing, but sad. Because the guy here, he's, I guess, but I heard apparently he's supposed to be like, is he dying in the movie?
Yeah. This is this is not one you put on at a film party. You're not going to break out the beers and popcorn and, hey guys, we're going to sit down and watch The Whale. His
daughter just hates him, and he's just doing every he can just to make up for everything before he goes.
It is a hard movie to watch, but holy Toledo. I just wanted to bring that up. I also, by the way, and one of the reasons why I'm agitated is now, just recently, while I was doing auction stuff, I watched a movie called You People and just got pissed off. So it's like, I just got so ticked off at that movie.
But you just gotta stop watching movies that Zach recommends.
So are you saying that Brendan Fraser finally made a good movie?
Wow.
Brendan Fraser's made a lot of good movies, dude. But
the Mummy is great, dude.
That's your opinion. Okay, there you go.
That's my hot take of the night.
Your hot take of the night. You didn't like Encino Man. You didn't like George of the Jungle or Dudley Do-Right or The Mummy or Gods and Angels. You didn't. Wait, no.
That's correct.
The Ugly American.
I haven't seen all those films.
What was the one with Frank Whale? Because he was freaking brilliant in that one as also, and that was a really good movie. It was about Frank Whale and the guy who directed The Bride of Frankenstein and one of his assistants.
Best movie?
It was a really good film. What?
Best movie? Monkey Bone.
Monkey Bone. Oh. I'm with Ash on the Monkey Bone. I'll jump on the Ash train for Monkey Bone. Monkey Bone was crap. But
no,
Monkey
I say
Bone,
this to people all the time. Like, you shouldn't make a decision whether to see a movie or not based on who's starring in it, because they're just actors. Like, they're given a script. They don't make, they didn't write it, they didn't direct it. But Brendan Fraser is the only actor who I legitimately avoid movies, because every single time I've been like, it's more of a just as batting average. I'm like, every single time I don't like the movie. So
yeah, obviously, I don't think too many people are agreeing with you on this.
No, people love The Mummy. I get it. Like,
I just find Brendan Fraser to be just very watchable,
very genuine too.
Here's the thing. It doesn't have anything to do with me disliking Brendan Fraser.
Yeah,
like I never watch it and go, oh, he sucks in this
bad
movie.
Scripts.
I'm just like, every single movie he's in, I hate. Or I hate. I just don't like. And so it's more of like, well, he's in it, so he's batting 1,000. I should avoid it. And every time I think, well, maybe I'll give it a try. Nope, didn't like it.
To you, he picks bad projects. He picks bad scripts.
Yeah,
I was the same.
Yeah,
there are just some actors who are like that. The actor's okay. It's just they pick bad. And then there are like bad actors. Kevin Costner. I didn't like Kevin Costner for the longest time, but I love the movies he's in. But then I just started, all of a sudden I realized, wait a second, I think I'm a kind of a Kevin Costner fan. Let me get some of these. Also, I've just found out today that it is illegal in a lot of places for an AI to defend you in a legal case. That is weird to find out. Brendan Fraser is a national treasure, says Nicolas Cage, by the way. Thank you for National Treasure. Another one, you could say he's been in some horrible films with the direct to videos. I will tell you this though, that man gives 150% in every gosh darn. I've never seen him phone it in.
I like Stolen.
Not once.
One of his direct video Stolen, where he comes out of jail and the guy wants his share of the money. That he says, I burned, but the guy kidnaps his daughter, who Nicolas Cage was trying to reconnect with. Forgot who the villain is. Yeah, but
John Cusack, right? Was that one?
Was it John Cusack? Oh, okay, it might have been John Cusack as the bad guy.
No, are you thinking of Con Air? Because
no. That's when he had a career. Yeah. In a Disguise saying about The Whale. So it is in the Schindler's List category. Great movie to watch. Moving, wrenches your heart, but you really don't want to watch it again. Yeah, but here's the thing. I am a movie fan to the point where I will watch Schindler's List, and I will watch and I'll watch a movie like The Whale just because I like to watch Jews burn. But let's see. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, it's a great actor's film. That's it. It's
pass the juice.
A good actor's film.
Pass the juice, please.
Yes.
On International Holocaust Remembrance Day, you had to make that joke.
I know, right?
Wait, that's an actual day?
Yeah. Apparently, I found that out today.
Oh, come on.
Well,
somewhere in some city, it's Mr. Peanut Day. I don't go off of. They just make stuff
if
up.
you go
It's international.
Yeah, but you're not talking about roasting peanuts.
I'll just say, go look at the retrospective we did tonight. Pixel came on as Hitler. He had the mustache. Everything.
I know I saw it. He was trying to be J. Jonah Jameson. I'm like, stretch that mustache out at least to the end. You don't want this right here. You got to stretch it out to the end. Otherwise,
I've never seen Zach so attentive. Then
Ash thinks the Tom Cruise Mummy movie is better than the Mummy with it. Now, don't put words in his mouth. Let Ash do that. Okay, do you think the Tom Cruise Mummy is better than the Brendan Fraser Mummy?
Never saw it.
Never saw it. Okay, so he has no opinion on that one.
Do you think
I heard it was bad? Like I believed that it was bad,
bad,
which is why I avoided it.
So my question is, have you ever seen the original Mummy?
Maybe. Like
I think that's more of a question for Eric Breen.
Well, I have seen the original Mummy. We used to stay up late and watch the late night movie. It would be the last one until that would stop at midnight, and then you get the national anthem and the snow.
Like I said,
hello, hey Dominic.
So basically, the Mummy in the 90s was basically the 90s version of Indiana Jones. If you look at it that way.
Okay. Ahsoka is really like three different. Sinbad was that's the one with Brad Pitt, the DreamWorks one, in early in the DreamWorks area. It possibly is the worst of the DreamWorks. I want to say Dreamcast. DreamWorks.
Who did Strange World?
Strange World is Pixar.
Okay.
Yeah, it was not. It might be Disney, but it might be Pixar. Today you can't tell the difference anymore. But I didn't care for Sinbad.
Well, never mind. You were kind of right. After seeing Lightyear, I'm not convinced. It used to be you could tell just by which ones were awesome.
Yeah,
and which ones weren't.
Well, when Disney acquired Pixar, they said we'll give you this much money, but you have to provide sequels because Pixar was refusing to do sequels except for the Toy Story movies. And so they agreed. And that's why we got that. We got Cars 2, 3, and I think they did for Monsters Inc. They did Monsters University. I swear to God, if you've watched that movie, you know it is Revenge of the Nerds, but in a Pixar universe. It is literally the plot of Revenge of the Nerds. All it needs is some guy tricking a girl into sex. Let's see.
It would really be a Disney movie.
There you go. You got to get this. Sinbad is such a worse movie. It is literally the only reason it made any money because it spent 95% of the budget on the voice cast. Well, yeah, it had Brad Pitt. England is celebrating International Kanye West Day. No, I can't stand talking with things over my face. You blink twice if you're possessed. I just don't think that anything should be off limits to tell jokes about.
Correct.
Exactly.
I just don't. I'm sorry.
Unless you're around minors. I think that's the only time censorship should ever be applied is when you're around minors.
And for that, it should be self-censored anyway. I just don't. Yeah. I just, that's the way I've always been. You know, there's no real thing I think is off limits. And I mean, come on, it's been 100 years almost. Shouldn't we just be like, okay, yeah, we could joke about it now? I don't know.
Well, I think making jokes about stuff is a way
also, we're on the side that does not like those jokes.
Yeah, that's true.
I think joking about this stuff is a way of kind of like squashing it in the past, right? When it just becomes something silly that we can all laugh at, then it doesn't control us or own us anymore.
The problem with that, of course, and I'm just being devil's advocate to argue my own point, is that this is a situation where it's a great grandfather, older or in some cases, it might still be a grandfather if you're my age or our age, Ash. I think that would be the thing. It's not huge distance. It's a huge distance when you talk about it in years, but when you talk about it in generations,
here's the thing, though. I mean,
it's not that far back.
You're admitting like the very obvious given that you can be distasteful and someone could maybe find offense in it, but that doesn't make a reason to censor. It may make a reason for that person to leave your chat and never watch your videos again, and maybe go talk smack about you on social media. And certainly people have that right. If you see people making content that you find distasteful, you can say, I think this is distasteful. You guys are a bunch of racist or big, whatever. You can have your opinions, but the point stands is you should be able to say what you want. Like, it's just words. Like I said, except around children. Children are different because they're impressionable. They don't know how to sort out their understanding of the world, their feelings, like, and they can't consent. So that's a totally different argument. But adults, you can consent and you can walk away. No one's forcing anyone to watch a YouTube video.
There was an attitude when we were younger that was, I have the right to say whatever I want. You don't have the right to not be offended. But you do have the right to turn off. Don't tell somebody they got to be taken down or anything like that. Just don't watch. I've been talking. You guys know, I had a couple of videos here. Even I had talked to Tristan and I talked to Robert, talking about these people that are just jumping all over them and telling all sorts of lies and just kind of going all over everywhere on them because they disagree with them. Well, she said this and it's wrong. Well, what the does that have to do with her gaining weight while she's pregnant? You know, it's just so. Anywho, I get sent these things. Robert will send, hey, look what they're saying now. Look what they're saying now. And my advice had never changed. Stop looking. Stop reading. Don't care. Well, they added, don't read it. Don't look at it. People say bad things about me all the time. I know, because occasionally I will check my mentions and find out that somebody is calling me something over here or saying something over there.
I only do it.
I don't care. Don't care. I care about RDV. I care about Ash. I care about, well, other people.
And no one's arguing that your feelings shouldn't be hurt or you shouldn't find things distasteful. Like, that's, no one's saying you should just be happy and accept it. You just have to tolerate it. That is the cost of being able to live in a society where your thoughts and your words are not dictated by a higher authority, that you can actually think for yourself and say what you want. And when you live in a world like that, most people learn to self-censor themselves because there's ramifications. If Englandine just went on a Kanye West rant,
I would never,
and talking about how he loved certain leaders in Europe at a certain time, he might lose his audience. Like, he doesn't want to do that. Not, I mean, aside from the fact that he doesn't believe that, I'm just hypotheticals. Like, so
although
he's going to moderate
was a tasty minx.
He's going to moderate some of the things that he says or whatever, because they have ramifications. He doesn't need a higher power saying, you can't say this, you must say this. Like, no one wants to live in a world like that, truly. The people who are advocating that believe that they'll be exempt from it, and they want to stifle what you say. And you can watch it all the time. It's always hypocrisy when it comes back on them, and they're the ones getting kicked off Twitter. They're the ones screeching to the heavens, like, how dare you, you know, like, yeah, this is what you wanted though. Oh, I didn't know it would happen to me. Like, yeah.
Now, getting to Ahsoka is still talking about Sinbad. If you want Sinbad, I suggest you go all the way back to the 60s and see Sinbad in the Eye of the Tiger.
Well, if you want Sinbad, just go watch the show.
Awesome. Sinbad. Not the comedian, but the character. I think Sinbad in the Eye of the Tiger is, it's great. It's a freaking great film.
It's funny. The biggest bomb in the film industry, actually. Well, I guess so, because the first one is Dragon Ball Evolution for film. For TV, it's Velma.
That's not good. It reminds me of a debate I watched from Oxford Union, which goes over freedom of speech and the right to offend. Each person got a fair shake in their argument without resorting to any mudslinging. It works better when you don't insult people. You coming over? You gonna be quiet now? Cool. Awesome.
And yeah, when I was a kid, I used to.
Speaking about
I used
hurting
to love
feelings,
those
like, what?
Harryhausen Sinbad
Oh, I
movies.
know, right? Yeah, Eye of the Tiger, Sinbad. Yeah, it was Jason and the Argonauts, Jason the Golden Fleece. It was Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger. But yes, by all means, Golden Voyage. Yes, these are some good freaking movies, and they were Ray Harryhausen, and they're freaking awesome. And I got to admit, even Ray Harryhausen, they're starting to look dated.
Oh, they totally look
in the
dated.
80s, but they're still.
But there's a little bit of charm to it, actually.
Oh, absolutely.
The datedness.
Absolutely. I mean, hell, I watched the original Kong recently with Gail, and yes, it's stop motion, and there's certain places where you can see thumbprints in King Kong, but it's still great. It's still worth watching.
In a disguise, Ray Harryhausen is the person you're asking about. That's who we're mentioning.
Yep.
Hey, Nerdette, what's up?
Hey, nerds, what's up, Nerdette?
I told you if you say her name 3 times, she shows up.
Well, it might be one of the. I tell you, there's a case where I'll say something and people go, "Hey, they're talking about you because somebody shows up." Hey, Nerdette, you want to jump on and enjoy the conversation? Just give the word. I'll leave the link. All righty.
I was actually having a conversation with my buddy about like special effects and stuff, and about how as kids, like they're growing up, they're just hitting their teenage years, and I was like, man, I kind of feel bad for like the kids today because we were watching Avatar, and I was like, photorealism has been achieved. Like we're at a point now where every big budget movie going forward is just going to look, well, I mean, if you see Avatar 2, it's unbelievable what they're visually able, despite your opinions of the story, whatever. I'm not trying to open that can of worms, but visually it's impeccable. And growing up, we had to deal with bad effects. But what was exciting was when a new movie came out, like when Terminator 2 came out, and they were doing like the liquid metal Terminator 2, which by today's standards looks really dated, but at the time it was like, oh my god, this is so cool. Like every time was something new and amazing that they were doing. Like when Jurassic Park came out, we're like, they made dinosaurs look real. It was like,
have you seen them recently? Have you seen Jurassic Park recently? You can actually see the outline of the effects on the
thanks to Jurassic
Park. They did a stream on Thursday, didn't they? Or
Wednesdays.
My point though is just that was the excitement. We always knew special effects could not be perfect, but every step up, it was like exciting. Like, oh yeah, we can still see through these, but look how much better it looks than it used to. Like, and nowadays, like it just, oh look, everything just looks real all the time. There's nothing to be impressed at.
I was actually talking to Gail about this. I was saying I like watching the old Disney movies and I like watching old musicals and stuff like that because I love the artifice. And that might be tapping into something you're talking about here. I miss being able to see the map painting at the end of the set. The people are walking along. If they keep going before the director calls cut,
right,
they're going to walk right into a wall. I like seeing that kind of stuff. I like recognizing the fact that I want to be able to see. I was able to jump into those worlds still, get the story. It was fun. It's entertaining. When I mention my favorite movies, generally it's Singing in the Rain that always ends up on the top, and that was made in 1940 with those fake sets, with the fantasy world about it. Then again, the next one is probably around like Lord of the Rings and Star Wars and shit, but still, I like the artifice of movies. Just so like I said, I think that's tapping into what you're saying.
I just think that today, like, it's just everything's just kind of a given. We're like, oh, okay, it looks real, and so all the future movies are going to look real. Like it's kind of what we're seeing in the video game industry, where they're able to make video games look so lifelike that a lot of video game makers are actually going away from that because it's no longer an impressiveness. Like, oh, look at how real these are. Like it's more, oh yeah, everyone can just do that. Now it's like art design. So now we're seeing a lot more video games where it's using like animation, like or more classical cell shaded and making games look different, like hand drawn and things like that, because photorealism just doesn't impress anymore.
Well, I disagree. If you have a good story, The Last of Us proved that the very first one, all the mod capping stuff, Uncharted stuff, people love that stuff because it looks realistic. But I mean, it all depends on what the studio wants to. If they make me return, if they do, remember, it's a huge risk to do all this visual specs. If it doesn't return, say the story sucks. Despite having a horrible story for the second Last of Us 2, it made money somehow, probably because of special effects.
I'll tell you something I do find. Maybe it's I'm just feeling nostalgic, but I've got Pac-Man and Dig Dug and all that kind of stuff I've been playing. Like anytime I want to.
What is that?
Anytime I just want to lose myself for a little bit, where I can play a game and not think about stuff. Those are the kind of games I play. Maybe I'll put on Madden. But I do got to admit, I remember being so impressed. I got myself, I think it was a PlayStation 2. Yeah, it was PlayStation 2. And the first game I got on it was Resident Evil. And I thought that thing looked so freaking cool. And how are they going to make graphics better than this? And then I got a game called, what's that? The samurai game, Onimusha. And they start off with a skull on the ground and a horse steps on. It's got maggots everywhere. It was so freaking good. And I recently went and played both. And they look like shit compared to what we're seeing now, what our eyes are used to. Dominic is saying at the same time, Ash, people are missing stylized designs for characters in gaming and otherwise, even art styles that look realistic, but are mostly stylized, leaving room for exaggeration. Ahsoka is saying its special effects might not have aged all that well. T2. But it has aged a lot better than others from the era. So, I really do agree with that.
I want to piggyback up that Jurassic Park thing. It was such a great special effects products. Mm-hmm. My zoo where I has Walk with the Dinosaurs. They actually have like animatronic dinosaurs. How cool is that? Like they actually do look realistic.
Yeah.
Now, so but of course they're getting older now, so they're getting slower.
I think Jurassic Park is still one of the best special effects films ever made. I think Jurassic Park 1 looks better than the new Jurassic Park or the new Jurassic World movies.
Yes. Yeah, they've been through a lot. People are talking about the fact that it's really I think it's because they really did create the T-Rex and then they mixed it. So your eyes being fooled because at one point you're looking at something real, at one point you're looking at something fake. When all you're seeing is fake, you start to see the strings. Let's see. No, man, old video games are hard. There is no way you could play OG Castlevania or Mega Man and turn off your brain, says Rhaegar. It's what we used to do. It really is. You just go. And I mean, at a certain point, yeah, you're gonna lose all your lives. But
and then we got old enough. You were at the arcade just looking for girls. You didn't care about the games. That was you back in the day. I think you were probably looking for girls when Pac-Man came out and stuff.
Oh no. Well, I was when Pac-Man came out, I think I was like 12 or 13. When was that? Like 1982, 83? When was Pac-Man? I know it was early 80s. But yeah, well, I was a teenager or a preteen, so yes, I was looking at girls, but hell yeah, video games were a big part. We would actually go to our real arcades, not like a little section off in a movie theater or something. This would be that we had one down here called the Fun Machine, and it was like a freaking Walmart with video games. You remember going to buildings like this, Ash?
Yes, what, the arcades?
Yeah, our big, huge. It would be like a Walmart superstore filled with video games.
Well, I've never seen one as big as a Walmart superstore.
Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating, but yeah, like a normal Walmart or
there's one. No, there's actually still an arcade somewhat near my house that's big enough that has a Ferris wheel inside. Like it's pretty sizable.
Yeah.
See, I disagree. I think back in the day, E was going to those rollers park,
roller rinks, yes.
Yeah,
I went to roller rinks.
Yeah.
Which had their arcade.
I don't know if you're trying to make a joke of it, but yes,
If you grew up in the early 80s, you went to a roller rink. That was like the place.
You watch K-Town USA, that's his life.
No shit. I will absolutely freaking admit it. I roller skated everywhere. I was a really good skater.
Yeah.
I have no illusions my 53-year-old ass wouldn't be laying on the ground nowadays, but when I was a teenager, I was a very good skater. I was into that. I was into skating. I was into BMX bike. You know, I loved doing the track. There was a track, goodness gracious, what was it called? Started with a B. Shit. Guys, it was like 40 years ago. Sorry about that. But yeah, there was a BMX bike track I used to go on to.
It's called the Bunny Hill.
What?
It's called the Bunny Hill.
And no. But yeah, I wore my skates everywhere. I just wouldn't take them off. I was like roller girl, except for roller guy. And yeah, and hey, there were guys in limousines that would pick me up. Okay, so let's see. Rhaegar saying no, man. Okay, we got that one. Glenzer, E must mean Resident Evil 4, a classic that's getting a remake. Well, they remade Evil Dead 2, Resident Evil 2 first, but yeah, I'll probably get that remake as well. I love Aminutia, one of the best Capcom friends. I love the. You know, I wish they would bring out 2 and 3. I want to get all of them.
Yeah, my mall after Sears went under, they turned the Sears the upper part into a giant arcade.
That's awesome.
You know, and they serve beer there. They're able to him.
Let's see the one thing about Avatar and Avatar 2 being top grossing movies is that neither turn their success into merchandise, not toys, action figures, T-shirts, hats, et cetera, except for one big ass area in a theme park that has toys and hats and T-shirts and so forth. And that it really does. You can even buy one of the dragons to put on your shoulder and everything. And
oh, that's pretty sweet. That's one thing I wish I could see. It sucks living on the West Coast. They don't have that at Disneyland. But I would say also just to touch on that, James Cameron has never been that sort of mindset. You know, like Lucas when he made Star Wars. Like one of the famous thing was he made sure at 20th Century Fox, like his arrangement was, I get the merchandising rights. And at the time they were like, whatever, who cares? You know, and Lucas made billions.
Merchandising.
But Cameron is at his heart, he's a filmmaker. All he cares about is making movies. Like so obviously he wants money. He's going to make some money, but that's not his mindset. He's not out there trying to make a cash cow. And I think that should actually speak highly, because if he was doing that, then he might be deserving of more criticism of, you know, like, oh, he's just out there trying to make, you know, he literally just cares about movies. And I think it shows, but I don't want to go back that can of worms. I just want to touch on that because I'm a Frank. I'm thinking Frank Miller. I'm a James Cameron apologist.
Frank Cameron.
Yeah, Frank Cameron.
MK,
meld them together.
The arcade that I went to was called the Fun Machine, not the Gun Machine. Austin saying his dad is starting to watch Book of Boba Fett. All I got to do is say, run, go to your room, do whatever you need to do, let him watch, and then that show was not.
So here's a question: what's cooler, inline skates or the regular 4?
I went with the
inline are cooler.
Inline
There's no question about the cool factor.
Yeah, but look, I could ice skate too. Surprisingly, not as well as I could roller skate, but rollerblading, it's okay. It was okay. They look cool, but I did like the 4 skates a bit better.
I like the fact,
but in all honesty, by the time the rollerblades came in, I was getting done with the skating thing. So
I'll just say this: I like the before the inline, you actually had girls come up to you on roller skates at the drive-ins. You had those, so the diners and stuff. So you actually had that, and then by the time rollerblades came on, that kind of went away.
What's a drive-in? I'm too young.
A drive-in is where you drive through the Walmart when you're shit-faced drunk.
Ah, okay.
And you park in the hunting section.
We get those down in South Florida. Miss Pac-Man machines and Pac-Man machines are still around today. Yeah, I've seen a couple of those. They're almost like the ones you can get at Walmart where it says like Neo Geo and it's got like 50 games on it now. Maranya saying her jam was Centipede or Military. I could play some Centipede for damn sure. Donkey Kong was my game. Also, I like basic Karate Champ.
Karate Champ.
Karate
Yeah.
Camp, I could flip it, and I did so a couple of times. Yeah, but that was
a game that
really
like
good for me.
I hated it at first because I couldn't get the 2 sticks down. I was like, what the hell? And then like one day it just clicked for me. And then I became a karate champ. Like it was like,
once you're able to get I was really good at that one. But I did like Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, the Return of the Jedi game, stuff like that, Dragon Slayer. But there was stuff like Narc, where you were throwing like they were throwing needles at you, and heroin needles at you. You were a cop, and you basically got to kill all the drug.
Yep, I remember Narc.
So
that was like one of the first ultra violent games.
Yep.
That the Christian mom organizations, would get all, oh my goodness, video games are going to ruin our children.
And there was a football game. It's more like rugby, though, where you play orcs and monsters, all sorts of stuff.
Pigskin, one of my all-time favorite.
Thank you. I was wondering what it was called. Pigskin. I love that game.
And here's the thing about that game: they put it on consoles, but the console version is not the same game. You can only play that game in the arcade. The original design of it.
It was freaking brilliant.
Glinzer, I wouldn't be able to play. I'd be lying because E would have a broken leg or a back, and so would Ash.
Wait, what are we talking about?
DDR competition. Dance
Revolution competition.
I just feel.
Do you have a freaking oxygen tank?
I don't have one because I'd be laughing so much.
Okay,
I went through a DDR phase. I went through a DDR phase. Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you guys don't remember, about 8 years ago to 10 years ago, we were all playing fake music on fake plastic instruments in front of a freaking game machine.
Dude, that's what killed the DDRs. Was the Guitar Hero. I
got a drum set, by the way, and I'm doing the AC/DC thing, and I could only go to medium. I couldn't do the drums on hard, but there was one. It's so freaking tiring. We were doing AC/DC, and it was Jailbreak, and it was a live version. So there was like one part where I'm just like, just this, and it goes on for 2 freaking minutes. Have you ever moved your body in one way for a solid? I mean, it was just afterwards, it was like freaking Bursitis City right here, man.
So, who here has played Duck Hunt?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, Duck Hunt.
I love gun games. Man.
Did you know that Duck Hunt's 2 players?
Yeah.
Yeah, the arcade one.
Well, on the console, most people did not know that. You just shoot with the gun. The second controller controls the ducks.
Oh yeah, I had forgotten about that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
You could barely control them though.
Yeah, sure, but still, it's like most people are like, I never knew that. I have the game. I have Nintendo. I grew up with Nintendo, and then we got Super Nintendo when it came out. So I had Atari.
Duck Hunt.
I never knew that.
Deer Hunt, Moose Hunter, School Shooter. It was such a lot of great freaking games back in the 1980s.
Did you know? Do you know why the shooter games died out? I found this out somewhat recently because I miss those. Like Duck Hunt's pretty primitive, but there's some like really cool like gun games. Because
it's go to a random elementary school.
They only work on CRTs. Yeah, Glinster just said it. Yeah. When they started making like plasmas and LCD TVs, which is pretty much all you can get now is LCD or OLED or whatever, the light gun games don't work on them because the way they refresh light or show the images is different than the CRT, like the big box televisions, and so the light gun games just don't work.
Yeah. Hold on. Wait. Duck Hunt. And let's see. Console is 2 players. Duck Hunt. Rhaegar. Wait. Hold up. You said school shooters. I most certainly did. Let's see. When CRTs died, light gun games died too. Yep. Let's see. So confirmed. E moves his hand up and down for more than 2 minutes. I feel for his wife.
Yeah,
it sucks too, man. I'm just thinking.
Okay, hold on. She has to do that for more. I don't do that for. Okay, all right.
Yeah. So
guys, do you think he can last 2 minutes?
Dude, I've been married for 30 years. We got that shit down. We just
Hey,
say,
guys.
hey, you know what?
Hey.
Our favorite TV show is starting in 5 minutes. You want to have some fun before we do it? Okay, done. If you know the other person and you're good enough, you don't need a long time.
Hey, I'm just gonna say this. You
Well
kind of
rehearsed
there's
speeches,
no
well
Come on in,
rehearsed.
Rachel.
there's kind of no point in starting if they already have separate beds.
Well, we don't.
Never
We
know.
don't. Okay. All righty. But let's see. Where are we going to? Ed Englandton, do you remember Karate Champ before the Street Fighters? Yeah, we were actually just talking about that, MK. That was my jam. I was really freaking good at Karate Champ.
Asteroid was the other one I played too. Space Invaders.
Asteroids. I could go for maybe once I got around 10,000 points, I was done. I wasn't very good at that one. Space Invaders, I could last for a little bit, probably about 4 or 5 boards. Donkey Kong, though, that was, yeah.
Donkey Kong, I kept thinking, man, like if this Donkey would go to anger management, you know, instead of throwing it, you know.
Well, why did they even make it to any sequels? He should have been arrested.
And how many barrels does he have? It just seems like it's endless amount of barrels. And why am I climbing ladders? Where's the elevators?
Al Bundy is my spirit animal, Maranya.
Heck yeah, bro.
Funny thing is I kind of brought Al Bundy into our lives with I showed Elizabeth and Ashley a clip. It was all a fat lady walked into the shoe store today, and he would have some crazy story. It's funny as hell. So now instead of asking, hey, how was your day at work? Did anything crazy happen? I will say, so how was it? Did a fat lady walk into the shoe store? And then they'll just tell me the story. And I thought, okay, well, maybe especially Elizabeth wouldn't like that. But Elizabeth comes home and she goes, a fat lady walked into the shoe store today, and she just told me a story about this crazy bitch.
Yeah.
But that's, yeah. So, yes, I kind of, yeah, I like Al Bundy. I like Married with Children. It's a funny as hell show. One game you'll rage at, Englantine, is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I've got that. I actually have that on my Xbox. I played that constantly. Always Raph. But we had that in the movie theater. I was a manager of a movie theater at one point.
Side-scrolling one, the first one?
Yeah. And we had that, and I had the keys to the games because I had to get the quarters and count them up and everything. But I could, when I opened it up, put on as many lives as I wanted. So sometimes after we got the work done, we would just, fire up the video games. And we actually did that. One night we said, after we closed, we said we're going to beat the game. And we stayed up all freaking night to beat the game.
So, I'm kind of nostalgic. I missed it back in the 90s when you actually opened up a game, you actually had an instruction manual. Now you don't even get that. You're like, you're on your own.
Yep.
It's like, at least hold the controls now. No, now everything's just like I said, it's the point where it's all about the...
Well, nowadays, though, the games have tutorials built into them.
True. Yeah. But I mean, like, Rogue Squadron wasn't a game I hated, but I loved I loved it, but I hated it at the same time because it's one of those challenging games. It's side-scrolling a plane, and you're just going up and down, and you just got to shoot the planes coming at you. And I'm thinking, like, why me? It's the whole story. It's the same thing over and over again. And then you got to go against, like, you're like, it's basically like the size of the finger right here. And then you had planes like huge coming at you. You're like, there's no way. One of them was a stealth bomber you had to go against, and the whole point was you had to get through all these levels. There was no story mode. You were just basically trying to survive, get to the next thing. It's basically Space Invaders going side-scrolling.
Let's see what we got here. Oh, I couldn't beat Battletoads either. I could not beat that. Even though it kind of reminded me of like Zaxxon, a game from the 80s, but Silver Surfer was the same way. Moran, you saying true story about the line? What line are we talking about? Great
Captain
line
America,
when Tony Stark said that man over there is playing Gallagher. Yep. They added that in the bit about Gallagher. That means that they then set up that shot just for that line.
Yeah, that was the other thing. Yeah, he's bringing up. I'm thinking the internet was your instruction manual. There was game facts. Somebody would write out the whole entire game in Word font. Just going there, and then YouTube came and they're like, that website just all the traffic just stopped because there's no point to go there anymore for instruction manuals.
I used to burn through $20 a quarters on my lunch block playing that one Marvel Superheroes game when you ran into the Sentinels. Oh, the X-Men. That was the X-Men game, but they had a Captain America and the Avengers. I haven't seen too many of those out there. And I really like that. You were fighting the oh goodness, what are their names? It's a team. It's a super team. Maranya, I'm sure you can help me out with this. The big team that fights the Avengers back in the Silver and Copper Age.
The Masters of Evil.
Thank you. Yes, I was about to say it had like the Weather Wizard on it, or Tornado, whatever his name is.
The top.
So, but yeah, you had all these all of them as you're fighting going along. You could be Captain America. And
that was Captain America and Defenders, right?
No, it was just I think it was Captain America and the Avengers.
Or Defenders, I think it was. I don't think it was Avengers. Well, maybe it was. I know Hawkeye was in there. Hawkeye was on his little like floating scooter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to play that one a lot. Xbox a while back on they added X-Men, Simpsons, and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the original one. So I bought all three of those, and we just hung out. Me and my friends hung out, and we beat the game, each one of them. So yeah, a lot of fun on that one. I loved Game Facts. The forums are hilarious. Yes, I am a forum lurker, says Rhaegar. Some of the trolls there are 5-star generals of trolling. RoboCop versus Terminator is a lot of fun. I also like the what was it? The Punisher, but it was like the Punisher and Nick Fury, and it was one of those games. It was a shooter, but you move side to side across instead of like forward. Yeah, that one I was really into. Basically, any superhero game I'm in.
Do you know what game I used to play?
What game do you used to play? X-Men 2. What? Oh yeah, I remember those games.
Yeah, those are my favorites.
But that Wolverine one was really good back in the day. I remember, maybe it's the same game, but there was one where you were playing Wolverine.
You played. There's all Spider-Man and the X-Men.
I played that. I played the Spider-Man Carnage and whatever I could get my hands on back in that day.
Right.
Yeah. That was really cool. And hello to Miss Rachel.
Hello, what up?
Well, not much. We got a new, what do you call these things?
Avatar.
Yeah.
New avatar? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought there was because since it's animated.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, I said that one wrong on purpose, but not really, because I used to say it to make my kids laugh to the point where that's how I say it almost.
Me too, right?
Yeah, well, it happens, and I've actually taken it out to the public. I want to make my kids laugh by saying the word wrong, so I would go, "It's that animation you like," and they go, And now I actually sometimes say it.
It's one of the reasons I did not like Stan Lee. Some of those words he's throw in there, it's like, Stan, like, do you know your audience? It's like Dalton level, like equivalent words. It's like you're supposed to. Oh, okay. Never heard this word before, and it's thrown in there.
I love that because it elevates. You want to read. So what's been going on with Rachel P?
Nothing much.
All right, thanks for stopping by.
You're welcome.
Let's see. We're talking video games. Are you a video game player?
Yes.
Well, okay, elaborate more.
I play a lot of games. I've been I've still been playing Death Stranding, and
the FedEx game. I love the game.
A lot. Yeah, I play a lot of Star Wars: The Old Republic. It's an MMO, Star Wars game that's really funny and great.
Yes, explain in detail these games to the guy above you, because he does not play games anymore.
Well, a lot of the games I play are free, so you don't have to pay anything.
Is it using Game Pass or
no?
She means free to play.
Yeah, free to play. At least not Death Stranding though. Death Stranding you have to pay.
Through what? Xbox, PC?
I've been playing at least Star Wars through PC, and then I mainly play a lot of free to play games on PC. But I only have a computer and a PS4. That's all I have.
I don't even have the new stuff, by the way. And RDV and I were talking about this because he's oh, I want to play this, and then like, oh, well, hello, Richie Rich. I'm stuck way back on. I got PS3. I've got a PS2. I've got my Xbox. What was the first one? 360.
Yeah,
that
360.
just now died, so I want to replace that because you can't play
My
all the games that you buy unless you keep the old stuff anymore.
my PS2.
That's not true.
What's that?
Xbox Series is backwards compatible.
Wait, the new one?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got to
you
get.
can't.
The old, so
well,
I'll
no,
go
no, no, no,
forward
no,
instead of back.
no. You can't play the 360 games on the Xbox One. You can't.
No, Series, the new Beyond.
Well,
the
yeah, but
one.
he's not gonna get the new one. He wants
Well,
the 360.
I want to.
No, that's what I'm saying. You can
So-
play 360 games on the Series.
So hold on.
costs real
So
money.
I want to clarify. The series is the one that doesn't have a disc drive at all. It's just download,
The
right?
Series S has no disc drive. The Series X does.
Yeah, that's the one I want. I don't want to give my whole gaming system to, if it's cheap, I'll buy a digital game because I understand I'm just renting it. But I'm not paying more than $10 for a digital game.
Yeah, my Xbox 360 hasn't died yet. But the only reason I have I bought a PS4 for myself. I got tax returns a long time ago. So my friend who bought a game, bought the Xbox One for like a certain game, doesn't play games, got tired of you gotta wait for it to install and all that crap. He said, here, do you want this? He gave him like 3 controllers, a couple games, and the system for like $250.
Okay, hold on. Also, you're more Richie Rich if you have a PS3 now because good luck finding a PS3 in 2023 for cheap. Is that true? I can sell my PS3 for some big money?
It's probably because certain games that they call the PS4, maybe.
Yeah.
Because PlayStation's not backwards compatible, and so if you want to play PS3 games, you need a PS3.
I'll tell you something. I just recently plugged my PS3 back in because I wanted to play Telltale games. Before Telltale went out of business, they had a sale where it was like $2.99 for everything. So I went freaking nuts. So I've got the Jurassic Park, the Game of Thrones, the Back to the Future, like all of them. And I kind of dig those Telltale games.
Yeah, the PS4, the only reason I got the PS4 because, I wanted to get the Arkham Knight. It's exclusive to Sony. Instead of being, on the Xbox One. So I got that. And I said, my buddy's like, hey, you want this? And it's like, I'm going to get rid of it because, we know he turned it into GameStop. You're like, here's $10 because they rip you off.
Oh, Rhaegar, I played Dante's Inferno on PS3. Yeah. That was a pretty cool game.
But I was happy that I got the PS4 because I went and played the Uncharted games then.
All right. Good stuff.
Yeah. I'm hearing what you're saying about have the physical copy of the game, and I'm a big advocate for that. But I'm starting to also come around on the digital because I just picked up an Xbox Series, and it's got most of my 360 games, my Xbox One games on it. I got some old original Xbox games. Somehow I have I don't know where I acquired those, and it's just in my digital library that I can just download and play. It's pretty cool to be like knowing that going forward, whatever replaces this series, whatever the next gen is, it's just going to keep. You're just going to keep that library and not have to worry about it. And I don't even have. I mean, I chucked all those physical copies long ago, so it's pretty cool what they're doing. So I'm kind of like an advocate for. It's like, yeah, the physical is cool, but I don't want to have to hold on to these physical discs forever. Yeah. So I will actually buy a lot of games digital these days.
Yeah, my number one game for Xbox 360 that I played all the time was Max Payne, the first one.
Oh, I love Max Payne, dude. That is
popping pills. Really the game never ends. It never ends. It just keeps going on.
I beat it.
Well, yeah, eventually, yes, but I mean, it feels like it goes on forever, though.
Such a cool game.
That one, and they had a sale where I was able to pick up Manhunt. Have y'all ever played that?
Yeah, well, my dad played it a lot, and I watched.
You had the same traumatizing childhood my daughters did.
My parents played a lot of video games when I was little. My favorite that they played was the first Diablo, and that was on the original PlayStation that they played it on, and I loved it.
One of my all-time favorites.
And then a lot of the times they would be playing on the Panasonic 3DO, and they played a lot of those games on there, and I loved them.
Elizabeth and I, we went out to lunch today and had a nice conversation. She's a big Pokemon fan. As far as the game, she will not watch the. She doesn't read the anime or manga or whatever it's called, and she doesn't watch cartoons. She just loves the game. She's been playing them since she was a little girl. And we were talking about. She brought up like the most recent one is a bad game, but it's so much fun. Was there ever a bad game that you found to be so much fun you had to finish, you had to play it to completion?
A bad game?
Yeah, like there's a
Bad
game, maybe it's a little bit glitchy, maybe it's something, but for some reason you're just having a lot of fun playing it and you finish it.
I have the game.
What is your game?
It's the game that I maybe want to just go out and just commit murder. The people who made it. We got to go back to Nintendo 64.
Okay.
You should know which game I'm going to talk about next.
Does it have to deal with a man made of steel?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I love the animated series, and this was a continuation, like another story of the animated series. And wow, I was like, oh my gosh, that's cool. We got the same voice actors and everything. But wow, was that glitchy? And it just got to the point where I was just like, do I have to save everybody? Can I just skip to the end? Can I just get out of this game? Because I literally was crying because I was like, it's never going to end. It's never going to let me get through. It's going to keep glitching. It took me about almost a year. And I finally finished it. And then I just felt like, man, I look back, I was like, what am I going to do now? It's like I've been playing this game forever. Like, I'd stop, play other games, play them, and go back. And like I said, I finally finished it. It's just like, I wanted my $60 freaking worth I spent on that game.
Okay. How about you, Ash? Is there a game that you knew was bad, yet you still had a lot of fun?
I'm struggling to think.
There was a
No, because I feel like, with movies, that is the case. There's quite a few movies that I go, man, I objectively know this movie is just not good, but it tickles my entertainment funny bone. But a game is also an experience, and if the game is bad, it just ruins the experience. So it's difficult. I'm trying to think if there's an example, and nothing's coming to mind.
So, Into Disguise, yes, I did finish E.T. back in the day. I don't know if I finished it. I don't know if I finished it, but I did make it through a few levels because you go and you find the little thing, you go up, and then you find a special a spaceship, and then it's the next. So it's not like a finishing game like you finish Resident Evil. It's just you play until the agents kill you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I played the hell out of that one. The game for me that I always bring up is Catwoman, based on the movie. It was glitchy, but and it was one of those where like the distance thing didn't quite work sometimes, so you had to repeat jumps. But I was having a blast with the combat system, so I finished it. I had a great time with Catwoman. I tried to replay it, and every flaw was so freaking obvious the second time that I couldn't have fun. But that one time that I played Catwoman all the way to the end, had a blast. Had a blast with it. Rhaegar's saying, bad game I had to complete, Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero. Oh, I played that one. That did suck. Where they made a platformer Mortal Kombat game using Mortal Kombat 3 interface.
Dude, Shadows of the Empire. I love that game, Rhaegar.
Dynamite Cop on Dreamcast. Okay. NES Raiders of the Lost Ark. From In a Disguise. Jay Lusa, I can't justify loving crap games. Star Wars Shadows of the Empire and Nintendo 64 was pretty bad. Yeah.
Glinzer. Oh, I'd got to bring up that game. I had just forgotten about that game.
Oh, yeah. That's the shooting game, right? Oh, no, they did one where it was supposed to be online and you would play a nurse and somebody. That game sucked.
There was the one you're thinking about is the other one is where you're on the ship.
No, it's
with the gun, light gun. There was that one.
I don't remember. It had a red cover. It was like
there's Code Veronica. There was
Raccoon something City, and it was literally a first-person shooter.
Yeah. Resident Evil Dead Aim was the one where you could actually use the light gun on the ship, and you can just go.
Oh, that sucked too. That wasn't good. I didn't like that one either. Resident Evil Outbreak was the online game, Glenzer. Yeah, that was not fun.
Did you ever have a Dreamcast at all? Sega Dreamcast? Did you ever play Biohazard?
Yep. I got Dreamcast on opening day. I was very excited. I had to because of Codename Veronica. I needed that game in my life when I saw that opening.
Yeah.
Where she's running, you got the helicopter going across. I mean, now it looks a little quaint, but back in the day, that was some badass graphics.
I wanted to play Code Veronica, but my dad traded that game in for a different game.
That sucks.
Yeah.
What was
I used to have a Dreamcast. My stepfather worked in the video game industry.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, so I'm assuming this is how he got it. But I had a Dreamcast that had a disc that pretty much had on it like every single Dreamcast game. It was like this magical disc, and I wish I still had it, because there's something about playing games on the original console. When you play on an emulator, it's not the exact same experience.
Yeah.
And man, I love the Dreamcast. That was such a great system.
It really
was. Sony killed.
Soul Calibur is a game that I played like it was the only one ever made. Yeah, that was my jam.
Was it Soul? Wait, was it Soul Calibur? If it was Dreamcast, wasn't it Soul Edge, Glinser? Because Soul Edge was the original one. And
okay, I remember Soul Calibur. And you're saying you played KOTOR. That's that Star Wars game?
Knights of the Old Republic.
Table or something like that?
Of the Republic.
The Republic, okay.
Yeah, actually, both those games were
Knights of the Old Republic is the single-player RPG that made BioWare famous.
Yes.
The Old Republic is the MMO.
Yeah, which I love. It's so funny. They have great dialogue.
Yeah. I really enjoyed... In fact, I've been pondering getting back into that game for years, because I really did like the experience. I just hate the end game. Like, once you get to the end, I was like, oh, this is just boring. But
yeah, they got new stuff out. They got a lot of new, more easy, accessible things for newer players, and you can.
I just enjoyed it. Like, it was like one of the few MMOs that you could play through, and it was like a single player RPG.
Yeah.
That was what was cool.
I remember playing it was one of the Batman games, but it was on Sega CD. You just drive. I think it was Batman Returns. You just driving the car.
The one with the car. I think that was it was Batman and Robin. Wasn't that the drive? No. Yeah, I think you might be right. Okay.
I remember like, because I had Sega, and my brother like, oh, you got Sega CD. I'm like, what? CD crap? What the hell is this crap? That's not gonna stick. No one wants a CD.
Sega, I like the Dreamcast because they had some experimental games. I tried that Seaman one. That was just creepy. But the Echo the Dolphin, I thought was kind of fun. But ultimately, I guess for me, it was like, it really was the Soul Calibur freaking codename Veronica machine for me.
The games I love the most were the Medal of Honor games. For PS2 and PS1.
My dad loves those games.
And
then we got Call of Duty, which just became stupid as it went on.
Call of Duty now is the worst garbage ever. I'm sorry. It's so bad now. It's so bad.
Yeah,
Check Run Radio! I love that game.
The original Modern Warfare 1 and 2,
yes,
and Black Ops.
Yep.
Were really astounding, I think.
Actually, I think I love Ghosts. People hate their game for whatever reason, but
Ghosts
I love
is okay. It was just a step down. It gets
I
a lot of flack because it was a step down.
I love the story mode.
Here's a question.
No, it has a good story mode. It was fun.
Everybody can participate. I want to see you in the chat as well. Here's a question. Let's piss some people off. Great game you don't like a very well loved game. Everybody.
I don't like the Last of Us game.
Okay. Oh no! Why?
I don't care. We're done with you.
I don't like The Last of Us. It's a story I've seen played out before to me, and maybe when it came out, it was the best thing ever. But I felt like it was overhyped. I didn't care for it. Okay. And the show, I watched a little bit. It's the same with the game. I just don't like it. I mean, good on them for sticking to the game in some way, but I don't care for it.
When that happens, I say it's like we'll just put it on the. Oh, you made a video game. Let's put it right here on the fridge. How about you, Black Cat? You've been quiet on this one. No.
I play very
play
little games, that's why.
Okay.
He's Mr. Serious. Don't
It's a lack of opposable thumbs makes it difficult.
There you go. How about you, Ash? What's a well-loved game that you just like?
There's a few. I would say Resident Evil is on my top.
You can go to hell and die.
You burn.
Also the original God of Wars before it went to the new format.
Yeah. Just
I did not. Those things were so popular, and I was like, I don't get this.
Okay.
Now here's where I make people
right,
hate me more. Gears of War.
Gears of War.
What?
I just
you don't like Gears of War?
No.
Oh, I'm about to drop I'm about to drop Fat Man and Little Boy on your asses. Final Fantasy sucks.
How dare you?
Final Fantasy has sucked all the way since number 7. I don't give a shit. Any game that makes you stand there and have somebody hit you while you're friggin' thumbling around for a menu item. I'm sorry.
Taking turns. Yeah.
It's because you're too slow. Duh.
Not good at all.
He doesn't like turn-based. He likes instant karma.
Fantasy. Okay, and look, 7 was bad enough. Okay, but then you get more. You get that number 10 where you're supposed to be playing underwater soccer for some reason.
Dude,
are you on a freaking mission of some sort? And then there's the next one. I don't know what it is, if it's 11 or 12, but you play some dude, Lightning Lad, something like that. And I kid you freaking not, I don't play the race card very much because I'm white, but I swear to God, there's a black character in one of these games. I forgot. I think it's number 11. I was playing it. My daughter was there. Okay, I'll see if I can't get you through this level. And there's a black guy with a big ass afro with a bird in it. And I swear to God, all of his dialogue was like, "Oh, feast on film it now. I'm going right now."
I remember that one. He was I remember that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. That's when he was boosting cars, right?
So Final Fantasy, you guys can.
Someone's played a lot of Final Fantasy for hating.
I know for hating it.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay, admittedly, I watched most of it, and I always go. But the thing is, the reason why, Ash, is because everybody loves these games. So what am I missing? So when Final Fantasy became like a $5 game, I gave it a shot. When the next one becomes I give it a shot because there's obviously something I'm missing. No, after I saw big afro bird black guy, I'm sorry, dude, I'm out. Too much.
What do you have against black people?
I have what I have against it. I don't have anything against the black people. I have a thing against the way Final Fantasy shows them. Also,
I'll say.
Go on ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think you would like Final Fantasy VII Remake, the one that was brand new, just came out somewhat recently. And it's not turn-based, it's just hack and slash, and I think you would like it. Kingdom Hearts, I know, is made by the same people, and I like that one because you can actually fight things. Okay, fine. Yeah. Now, that was Fat Man. Here's Little Boy. Halo is boring as balls. I swear to God. Here's Halo. Let's go down. We got to go all the way down into the depths of this building, and we got to kill all the alien bad guys. Now we got to go up the same freaking building, being chased by freaking multiplying aliens behind us. It was
what England team is doing right now. I need to interrupt. What England team is doing right now is describing one of the most iconic scenes in video game history that is so beloved by like it's like the Star Wars of video, and he's saying it as a negative.
Boring. It's so dull. Okay, you're gonna do this, then you're gonna do it again. Except for now,
it's one of the most intense experiences of my life in video games.
It's annoying. It wasn't intense to me. It was more annoying.
You just say to any game the flood scene in Halo, and it's
the
man.
Flood. That was it. The flood fucking sucked. Well, that whole game sucked. It would be one thing if it was like a huge challenge or anything, but it's like just run backward.
Someone didn't play it on any sort of difficulty then, because I
played it on medium. I always play the games on medium. I don't go up, don't go down. It's always on medium.
I always play on easy because I like easy.
So you hear about
that's fine. Right? You're not complaining.
I did when I was 21.
Yeah.
So Speaking of video games, apparently there's going to be an Amazon Tomb Raider TV series that's going to connect into a new Tomb Raider game connecting through the last two ones, the reboots. So, and Phoebe Waller-Bridge is going to be writing it.
I liked the newer Tomb Raider games. I really did. I liked them a lot,
Yeah,
especially
I
the last one.
I like the reboots. Now people are complaining, hey, where's the giant pixelated double Ds?
The triangles.
Yes.
I like Tomb Raider. I also like the one that everybody hated. It was like Angel of Darkness or something like that.
Yeah, I had that. I hated that one.
Yeah, most people did.
did.
Hearsay. I'm gonna read the comments off of off the Fat Man and Little Boy there. Hearsay. Englatina's talking about Saz from Final Fantasy 13. He ain't that bad. Pretty bad. MK, I have to ask, what's up with anime characters with a spiked hair? I feel like Goku and Cloud use more hair gel than Polly and from Jersey Shore.
What it is, their key is so strong, they're constantly being electrocuted by their key.
Rhaegar is
That's why
saying Final
Super
Fantasy
Saiyan-
7 is one of the best games ever created. E doesn't want to go there, says Austin P. Surely E likes Zelda.
Well, have you ever noticed that whenever Goku or whatever Vegeta guys, when they go Super Saiyan, their hair sticks up because they're getting electrocuted?
Rhaegar saying he'd rather have me hate Halo than the other mentioned.
Mhm.
Halo was
Halo's-
great in the early
yeah.
2000s. Nowadays, Turok
Halo-
is better than her. What he said.
The original Halos 1 through 3 and even 4 were good. After that, Halo 5, Infinite, it's just been trash.
No, you mean Halo 1 through 3 and Reach.
I'm sorry, I'll reach number 4. Sorry.
No, because there is a Halo 4.
There is a Halo 4.
Let's go reach 4.
How about the Call of Duty series? Talk about milking a franchise every year. It's like the Call of Duty is the shooter version of Madden.
Call of
Yeah,
Duty.
they're Call of
Madden-
Duty.
I'm telling you,
send it out.
Modern Warfare 1 and 2, the original ones, not these new ones that they're
yeah.
using the same name over again.
Yeah.
The original Modern Warfare 1 and 2, and I would even say 3 and give it is decent. And the original Black Ops
Yeah, Black Ops is good.
outstanding. The campaign, it's like the most closest you're ever going to get to playing like a Die Hard. Like the cinematic action set pieces in the campaign are amazing. Like it's kind of gone over the top and jumped the shark nowadays. You know, they did a Call of Duty in space, like
No.
But
I
play those. Those are totally worth playing.
I can say there's another plus for Ghosts is that you have your brother's German Shepherd in the game that you could basically go kill that guy.
my daughter says, as far as Assassin's Creed is concerned, don't play the first one, start at the second one, because I was going, I don't see why people like this one.
Yeah.
I just don't. I played the first Assassin's Creed. I didn't get it. Now, just to maybe redeem myself a little bit, let me tell you some of the games I actually do like. Barbie. Barbie is good. Elmo and Adventureland. I'm just kidding. The ones like, as far as the shooter, even though Venkman doesn't like it, I prefer Gears of War over Halo. Let's see. Of course, the Resident Evil series is really good for me. Any Batman game I'm in on, except for Dark Victory. The Arkham games I play like they're the only games ever existed. I like horror a little bit more, but if it's not some sort of survival horror game, I like. Say again.
What genre?
Survival horror. Survival horror. Yes, survival horror. Yes.
Dude, that sounds like a game that needs to be made.
Doesn't it though?
I'm just saying. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, do you like the Silent Hill games?
Yes.
I like Silent Hill.
Yes,
a lot.
I love the graphics on the first one. It's the best.
Yeah.
If you think it got better, no, skip with this.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
When you have that flying thing coming at you, but you have no idea what it is because it's so badly pixelated.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see. The one I'm gonna start up next is Alien Infiltrate, something like that. It's
Isolation.
Isolation.
And
My daughter, about 3 years ago, my daughter got me 3 games because I was able to procure my. Well, I guess it was longer than that, but my daughter got me Batman Arkham Knight. She got me Resident Evil Biohazard, and she got me the Aliens Isolated. And I said, okay, when I'm done with Batman Arkham Knight, I'll start on the other ones. And I have just played that Batman game over and over and over and over and over for like 3 freaking years. It's one of my favorite games of all time. I've never made it to the other two, so I'm gonna start on Aliens and then go to Resident Evil.
So Rager is bringing up Assassin's Creed, dude. Literally, you have the same voice actor from Uncharted in there. Came around the same time, and it's the same thing, some kind of climbing and grabbing. It's the same kind of gameplay, but with a little bit different story. That's kind of funny.
It's a little bit different. And I have to disagree, Rhaegar. I couldn't finish an Assassin's Creed until Assassin's Creed 4. I think Assassin's Creed 4 might be one of the best games in the entire series. That's Black Flag. We get to be a pirate.
Oh, pirate. I was gonna say that's okay.
Austin P saying he loves Isolation.
And also the current. I'm playing through Valhalla right now, and I actually really like what they've done with Assassin's Creed because they haven't kept the series stagnant. Yeah. People are saying like let the series die, and I can kind of understand that. But like whereas Call of Duty, it's just the same thing with a new skin of paint, like just over and over and over. Assassin's Creed, they've really evolved it into like more of an RPG, and it has a lot of big progression system. And for me, that tickles my fancy. Like I love progression systems and getting loot and building my character and seeing him just get more powerful with new skills and abilities. And it's this huge open world, and you get to, and I'm a huge kind of a sucker for Viking lore and stuff. So you get to be a Viking. They even threw in mythology into this one. So you get to run around as Odin in parts of the game. And just your Vikings in like, the 8th century England, and you're like taking over like parts of England and making your own little homestead and like village, and you build that up and you raid towns on your little Viking ship, and then you get to build up your Viking men and hire new ones. It's just there's so much to it. It's pure escapism, and I just really like what Ubisoft is doing with that.
I remember they had a plane games. They used to do Ubisoft used to do those War II plane fighting games. I remember getting one of those. I was just like, all right, what's going on here? It's like those. Remember that? I think it's for Atari or Nintendo. You had to take off in the plane, but it was so freaking hard to figure out how to do the controls, the land or take off, because there was no instructions. You just are like, okay, I'll just push this button here, pull this lever here. I'll eventually get it. No.
Jay's like my daughters. He likes those WRPGs and all. My daughters love those. I'm just not into that kind of thing. Also, by the way, while we're at it, you don't need a big ass sprawling open world for every freaking game. I'm sorry, but actually, what was that? Grand Theft Auto. I think it was 4.
Don't you diss Grand Theft Auto 5?
We don't need
I forget. I don't think it was 5 because I don't think I made it that far. But I was playing one of them. I was playing one of them, and they were telling me, "Well, you haven't really touched upon that shop that you left 6 hours ago in another town." I don't want to deal with that. I'm over here now. What the heck? It just it's too big. I don't need to play pachinko while I'm trying to be a mafia boss.
That's like Cyberpunk 277.
That's my favorite game. Don't talk bad about it.
I'm just gonna say my only nitpick was this: is that in order to go through the main mission, you have to do some of the side missions.
I said we'll piss people off by talking about games.
The subject is pick games that people love. Like if I picked a game that everyone hates, it wouldn't fit the subject.
Yeah, games people love that just don't really appeal to you. But, okay. The one that really did me in though was Red Dead Redemption.
Really?
That open world. Okay, so I'm riding my horse. I'm in this town. I've got to ride my horse. Most of that game was me looking at a horse's ass bouncing up and down.
Okay, which game? Wow. The first one or the prequel game? The 2?
Red Dead Redemption is like one of the best games ever made.
You know what? Sometime maybe I'll go back because it really is a game that's up my alley. I loved Gunslinger, which I think is the Red Dead Redemption. But yeah, I would.
She just changed her avatar.
I'm so angry.
That's it. Yeah. Everyone hates Bible.
I literally was brought to tears at the end of that game. It's one of the few games that's ever emotionally moved me. And it's like the perfect cowboy simulator. Like you get to be a cowboy and any way you want. You can go around and like take bounties and like protect the town, or you can become a bandit. And however you pick to play it, the ending works. Like
Yeah.
it's so amazing. It doesn't hold your hand and tell you you got to do this, that. You can just however you want. And when you get to the end and you start to do the resolution, all your decisions, everything you've done come to play. And not because it changes necessarily the ending, it changes how you interpret the ending because you know what kind of person you were in the game. And so the ending is contrasted to that. It just it's brilliant. I can't say enough good things about that game.
I didn't care for the second one is technically they call it number 2, but it's a prequel as with Arthur. I didn't care for that one, even though it was more open world, more stuff.
I'll give it a shot.
You know why? Because they got rid of the whores, bro.
If you get rid of horrors, you lose RDV. That's just.
Are you saying horse or horse?
Well, no, because they got rid of the whores. They censored them. They got rid of it. They decided, we can't have this in there.
This video stream should be renamed "Video Games: The Hot Takes." The whole point was to say, hey, look, this game you love, it's not for everybody, obviously. But here's the thing: I have never liked Final Fantasy games. You've loved them all the time that I've not. So nothing changes.
We're not. No one here is dissing any of those games. We're just saying they didn't work for us.
Yeah.
And I could see it. Like, obviously, when I listen to England Teen talk, he doesn't grasp. I don't say grasp. You don't find tasteful or enjoyment out of turn-based RPGs.
No, that's just not my thing.
I don't think it's Final Fantasy that did it. It's not like you're like, I love turn-based RPGs. No,
because it's all of them. You just don't. And it's same thing as for me. I don't like survival horror, and so naturally, Resident Evil is probably not going to float my cup of tea because I'm not
liking that kind of genre anyway. But I do love open world, like escapism and things like that. Sandbox, I can get so all those type of games are going to be more naturally appealing to me.
Sometimes, though, I don't know if you guys are like this, but sometimes I'll be really into a platformer, and then I'll go to another platformer, and another, and another, and then I'll be done with platformers. Yeah. Let's go on to shooters, or let's go on to a fighting game. There was a time I didn't want to play anything but fighting games. Now they bore me because it's basically the same up, down, left, right, left.
My first ever game I ever played was a fighting game. It was sadly on the Panasonic 3DO. It was like robots something. It was really bad. I played it and I never beat it. Neither did my dad.
My daughter Ashley, she's a freaking video game prodigy, man. She picked up Soul Calibur like nobody's business. We went into I don't know if it was what was it? Not GameStop, but the other one that was in the malls, and there were these kids. They were playing the demo version of Soul Calibur, and my daughter's like 4 years old. She walks up and they go, "Oh, this is cute," and she just whips their ass.
Yeah,
these teenage boys.
Yeah, I played Soul Calibur, the first one, a long time ago when I was little. I was probably, like 4, and I played it like nonstop. And then we had Capcom versus Marvel, and my dad, he played as Spider-Man, and I remember my dad just kept like stun locking me with this web shot, and then I just beat him up in the game, not in real life. In the game, I beat him up in the game.
That's the thing. Some of the games I think rely on certain types of experiences. Like I used to be really into fighting games. In fact, when I got the original Xbox back in the day, the 2 games that saw the most play ever, you got Halo Natural, and then was Dead or Alive. Dead or Alive 3 came out on the Xbox.
Oh, yeah.
But getting 4 people, like 4 of your friends, or you and 3 others or whatever, it was one of the best party games.
We
could do
did that.
It was one of the first fighting games you could do tag team.
Yep.
And I remember like just bringing my Xbox to various people's houses. I remember like we had a New Year's party one night. We just sat and played Dead or Alive 3, and everyone could get into it. We'd have like husbands and their wives playing, and it just so much fun in that. But nowadays, most people game by themselves. And if they do play multiplayer, it's online. And there's not necessarily anything wrong with that, but it's a different experience than sitting in the same room with someone and talking smack. And the experience I just heard Rachel talk with her dad, playing, like if you don't have that experience, some of these games lose their appeal. And on that line, I would kind of ask RDV, when you played Gears of War, did you just play it by yourself?
Yeah.
Because that makes more sense why you didn't like it quite as much, because when you get to play Gears of War with a friend, it's designed like to be like a cooperative 2-player.
Yes,
like
I did play
flanking
it
the
by
enemy.
myself. I love it.
See, that's different.
No, I
like,
played it by myself too.
no.
I'm just saying it's like Diablo. You can play Diablo by yourself too. When you get to play Diablo with 3 other people,
So
it takes it to new heights.
Well,
I used to play Call of Duty with friends, do a LAN party and stuff like that. I love that for the multiplayer, but I also loved it for the single player. And Gears of War, the trailers, it didn't really just capture my interests as much. So when my friend's like, here, play it, I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right, I played it.
I have a story. We went to when I was one of the leads. It's like a manager at the Twister ride. We brought in an Xbox, and the fighting game I brought in was called Def Jam. I think I still have it. And
was P Diddy in it?
Say again?
Was P Diddy in it or Dr. Dre?
Not P Diddy and Dr. Dre. It was like Snoop Dogg was one of the final battles, if not the final battle. Sean somebody. We got boobies. It was so it was a whole bunch of rappers at the time, and it was fun. It was fun as hell. But the funny thing is we told people, here, you can play this game, but you've got to make sure that you're always on time back into rotation. And everybody was going by the rules because they didn't want to lose Def Jam in the freaking break room. That was a badass fighting game.
Now, speaking of fighting games, this is a game I just didn't care for. I thought
Def Jam Vendetta. Yeah,
there was. I love the kill stuff, but I'm not into just one-on-one and all. And some of them did have story modes later on, but that was Mortal Kombat. I just couldn't get into it. And my friends are like, "Oh, I love this." I'm like, "That's cool. I'm playing Super Mario World."
I don't like the old Mortal Kombats. I think what was it, like starting with 9 when they went to like the full 3D, they kind of revamped the whole thing, is when I started saying, okay, I could play this. But by that time it was like the era of couch co-op, at least for me, was kind of over. So I just haven't really enjoyed a fighting game in a long time.
I see people are like getting was it last one was Mortal Kombat 11. People were getting excited over what's the download characters. I was like, really? That's all I heard. Was
cool download character.
I know, but it's like if that's how I get you to play the game. I understand that, cool, but like, what does I say about the original characters? Like, I don't care about this.
Well, you've played them for 10 other versions of the game.
I know.
Now you get to be like Spawn versus the characters.
That's my point. The only way they get you to keep playing that game is with the new added-on download characters.
I would, dude, if you get to 11, if you get to version 11, it's not because people don't like your game.
Let's see, MK saying, I have a friend who's a former pro DOA player. My daughter can kick ass in DOA. Sadly, the series is dead. DOA is fun, mostly grapple heavy encounter. Yeah, they really kind of went that way.
Well, DOA went also, they went to that pay model now. It's like you got to pay for all your characters, and greed is really killing a lot of franchises in the industry.
$20 if you want to download this character, or you can. That's with wrestling. It's just like you can play, or you can just buy this pack here, and it unlocks all the unplayable characters.
Hey, KRENIZ.
Well, I don't mind if it's something you can unlock in the game, and you just want to pay to make it easier. I don't mind that.
Well, doesn't it seem kind of cheap though? It's like it's like instead of actually putting the work in.
Yeah, but it's cheap for them. It doesn't change your experience.
Two things that killed the online experience for me. Like I hate playing with strangers. I will not play with strangers anymore.
Same with me.
I played a game called Lost Planet. It's you're on this ice planet, and it was you played 2 different teams, and nobody ever like got together and talked about a strategy before, because I was like, hey guys, I know how we can beat them. If you're on this side, you jump down this hole. They've only got 3 ways of entering this cave and canyon, so you stay, boom, these guys, but the other one was Left 4 Dead. Now,
Left 4 Dead.
I am not about to badmouth Left 4 Dead. I love that game.
Yeah.
If I have my friends with me and we want to play some online, let's play some Left 4 freaking Dead. I love it. Yeah. But playing with strangers, I freaking hated it. hated it.
Speaking of which,
First of all, I don't need any 10-year-old what sounds like black kid calling me the N-word every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And the
wait,
second
how do
of all,
you know what he looks like?
because he sounds 10 and black. I'm sorry, but there you can actually identify people by their voice like that sometimes. All right, so anywho, also there, like, I remember getting kicked when I would do this kind of thing. 3 of my teammates are down. 1 more monster is around somewhere. So I go over to the whole thing is scored is how many people get to safety. So I got to safety. Well, you don't care about the team. No, I do. That's why I went in there, so we would have more points. We wouldn't lose because none of you guys would actually go straight. You don't freaking sit around, let's go looking for everything. You're going to get your freaking supply. When you're playing tournament, you go from one end to the other. You don't f around. Yeah, I just, no, there's no strategy. No strategy talk before you move.
The Ghostbusters game that came out in 2009 had an awesome regular story mode, but then there was a co-op mode you could play online with that player, and it's the same thing experience. I'm paired up with 3 other people I don't even know, and you have to trap all these ghosts. Like there's a certain amount of time, and I'm the only one doing stuff because they have no idea. Most of them are probably like, who knows how old they are if they're playing the co-op thing. You know, that's the thing. Back in the day, even it used to be fun playing with co-op online with certain people. I had friends that I actually met through multiplayer stuff.
Yeah.
I'd meet them through it, and we'd get up. We just play Halo. Halo was one of the best multiplayer games to play. Slayer mode, but now everything's become more complicated. What's the biggest multiplayer game right now online is basically Fall Guys right now. I've seen recently.
Fortnite game wasn't that big?
I love Fortnite. Me and my mom play Fortnite. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never played it myself. That or what's the square head guys that you build things with?
Minecraft.
Yeah, I've never played.
I played that with my nieces. My nieces they're like, hey, I play that. So I'm like, so something I can interact with them because they play video games.
Yeah.
So,
but the thing is, go ahead. I was
gonna say they only play a PC game. So otherwise they watch people like Corey Kenshin play video games.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say that most games online, I mean, you don't have to talk to anybody. You can just do your own thing, and that's pretty much. I mean, with one of my favorite MMOs, Star Wars: The Old Republic, you just do your own thing. You can play it like single player, but you're surrounded by other people doing their own quests and doing their own thing, and that's what I like.
Do you know what game I'm missing right now? I wish they did another one. Was Fable.
Fables?
They're remaking them.
They're remaking.
Are they really remaking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember it was so stupid because you know how guys are on internet. If you change your picture to a girl, they would go up to you, and I think it was a Fable 2. You just go in there with all the floating orbs, you see everybody where everybody is. People would just give me legendary weapons. I was just like, thank you.
What's the next Splinter Cell?
I know, it's great. I was like, and then I just switched my avatar. They're like, hey.
When is the next Splinter Cell? That's a game
when is the next Metal Gear Solid? That's what I don't know.
The next what?
Metal Gear Solid.
Metal Gear Solid, yeah. Splinter Cell that's one of my games. I like Rainbow Six. So as far as the Tom or whatever his name is, but yeah, I could play those any freaking day. I love those games, the Batman games. Give me superhero stuff. I still play on occasion, not every day. The what is that? The Marvel Universe 1 and 2. Those games
Legends?
where Marvel Legends. I play those and
Ultimate License.
Yeah, I liked the X-Men ones as well. I wanted to see that continue because they had, I think there was they did the Apocalypse thing and then they teased Mr. Sinister was going to be next, and they never brought in that one.
I gotta ask Rachel, how are you enjoying Death Stranding? Because literally that game to me was just like, I'm delivering packages to everybody. I'm a FedEx guy.
Yeah, I mean, I can't spoil it. I can't say nothing else. You just have to keep playing, and
I'm just saying, are you really enjoying it, or are you realizing I just got tricked into delivering packages?
No, I knew what the game was.
No, there's more to that game.
Ultimate Alliance. Thank you, Gwenzer.
There is, but still, it was like, it's a guy from Polar. is the main one of the actors.
He's from The Walking Dead as well.
Well, not talking about
Mads Mikkelsen.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
It's Mads Nicholson or Mickelson or something
He
like that.
is he is crazy, like creepy in there. His character.
He's great. That's all I'll say is he's amazing.
Toe Jam and Ed Brewers bring up Toe Jam and Earl on the Sega. Toe Jam and Earl Panic and Funkatron. I played that game constantly. Loved
Quake.
it.
Yes, Quake was the big thing other than Doom.
Yep.
Dude,
Doom
Quake.
And if you go to Captain Frugal, his channel, Little Frugal Jr. is playing Doom.
Oh.
Quake and Doom, man. That's my era.
Good times.
Duke Nukem for me.
Well, guys, it is almost 2 hours. I heard Gail come in, so I'm going to go downstairs and be a husband for a while. Thanks for hanging out. It was a good time. This is exactly what I like about the Hangout streams. I had no idea what we were going to talk about. Video games. All right, cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, I love video games.
Say again?
I said I love video games.
Video games are fun.
Yeah,
By the way, if anyone wants to add me, I don't play on my PlayStation as much anymore, but I'm on Xbox and PlayStation both as Ash1138. If you want to add my gamer tag or whatever, feel free.
I would add in, but literally I only have my Xbox One.
And also because we didn't get a chance to talk about it, MK, I know you're upset. GoldenEye is a phenomenal game. Multiplayer.
GoldenEye was freaking. I'll tell you.
And by the way, GoldenEye just got released on Xbox and Switch.
What?
Today. I think it was today or yesterday.
GoldenEye.
So,
GoldenEye. Can you play it
the
on
remaster.
The Xbox One?
Huh?
I'm gonna look to see if I can play it on the Xbox One. But I'll go one step further. There are a freaking ton. All those games based on the Pierce Brosnan, James Bond that came out around that time. All of them were good.
See,
that
they
was
should make
really good time for James Bond games.
I want the one that based on Daniel Craig's No Time to Die, whatever it was, and just where you can't win.
That's funny. GoldenEye was great. My cousins and I had a lot of laughs playing it. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It really was. But like I said, those games. We haven't touched upon a couple of game systems. One of them was they were like where the GameCube had a couple of these James Bond games as well.
Uncharted 4, you get to play Crash Bandicoot within a video game you're playing. It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's fun. That's fun. All right, guys, but we're gonna call it tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern. We're doing our auction. I thought, well, maybe I moved all the big dogs I could have flashed around. I'm probably gonna put this one up. It's the origin of Dr. Fate. I got a few others, some good books. I showed them off the other day. I also found the first appearance of Hellcat. So.
Oh, speaking of Hellcat, she's getting her own new ongoing series, apparently.
Oh, cool. Marvel. Hopefully the writer is good.
It's Christopher Cantwell.
All righty, kids. Well, anyway, and anywho, thanks for hanging out with us. Thank you to Rachel P, to the Evil Black Cat, Ash, and RDV for joining in, as always. Thank you very, very much for watching. You kids have a great night.